Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Melissa and I'm here on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday, and I talk about true crimes. Friday I dedicate my Fridays to talk about missing children that need a voice, and I want to be that voice. Also, if I do talk about different topics, so if you want to know more and see my channel, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification button so you can be notified every time I upload. Today this is my second video of the day because it's Valentine. I wanted to talk about a Valentine case. So before we get started, let me do my inspiration of the day. I will choose you even when you make me mad. My love for you won't fade away simply because we are angry. I know we will fight. We will be frustrated. We will be human. Still, I will choose you. I will choose you and keep choosing you every single day. So that's my inspiration of the day. Sorry guys. So like I said, today we are going to talk about an unsolved murder that happened on Valentine's Day. So let's go ahead and get started. Colorado Spring. She was a young lady looking for love, but instead she met a brutal ending along with her young 2 children. It was extremely traumatic for the city, say Rachel Cruz Roger, a detective in the cold case unit for the Colorado Spring Police Department. It's been 35 years since Cassandra Runder and her 2 children were murdered, but for those who remember the case, our trauma still remains. I don't think nobody deserves to be murdered, but especially when you start talking about children. They're so young. There's no reason why nobody would have a motive to murder them, say Cruz Rogers. Police say sometimes early on February 14th, 1985, 47-year-old Rhonda, along with her 12-year-old son, Dietrich Stormy, I'm so sorry about that, and her 10-year-old daughter, Melina Sturman, were killed inside the Evelyn neighborhood home. For Colorado Spring, the police department is our only unsolved triple murder. And not only that, but there are 2 children involved. So this case itself is pretty traumatic, said Cruz Rogers. The crime shocked the quiet neighborhood and everyone want answers. A ton of detectives were involved, not just detectives from the homicide investigation. A lot of the community were really involved in trying to solve it. A lot of people had called in and tried to give whatever information they could to help solve it. Unfortunately, it is still unsolved, said Cruz Rogers. Abby Burker went to the Pikes Peak Library District Pernors Library to dig up old articles about the accident. The horrified crime made the front page of the Colorado Springs Gas State Telegrams for days, and few girls' details were spread. According to the articles, one of the Herndon ex-husband, Douglas Peller, found the bodies when he stopped by the morning with the Valentine present. Police said all 3 had been beaten and strangled, and there were signs that 2 females had been sexually assaulted. I am so sorry guys. I need to learn how to put a warning in my videos if it does have these type of talks, because I know a lot of people don't like hearing that. So I'm very sorry if you made it along this video and I did not. I'm really sorry guys. I do apologize. It was a pretty brutal murder for each one of them, said Cruz Rogers. At the time, police had plenty of suspects. They went through a lot of different people, with different relationships with the family and the children and Cassandra, and so everybody was looked at as a suspect at the time, said Cruz Rogers. An Associated Press article published in 1985 said Rondo had taken out 2 personal ads in the Colorado Springs Sun just months before her death. The first in place in July said, "Blonde green eyes, 5'2", 95 pounds, seeking a rugged individuals. I am a free spirit, independent, well-educated, somewhat shy, sensitive, truthful, and enjoy life. And a one-man woman looking for one good man. Please send photo and short letter." Well, I've when I've seen videos of true crimes, that's one thing that I've always seen. I guess back then you would put, if you were looking for love, you would put it on a newspaper, and I see it as to me that sounded like it was dangerous because it's still, but today even, it's dangerous now because somebody could just put a picture on the internet and make you believe that that's who they are. And back then I think it would have been the same thing. So the second ad, placed about a month later, said, "Warm together, bright, beautiful, and modest lady seeking friendship with a gentleman of quality and character, 30 to 40 years old." Police at the time said between the two ads, Runder received response from 85 different men. Ooh, she must have been beautiful. The potential suitors, now suspects, were all investigated by police. Officers also looked at Runder's ex-husband, who found the crime scene, as well as her first husband, who lived in Ohio at the time. Everybody was a suspect until weren't, said Cruz Rogers. Cruz Rogers wouldn't say if any of those men are still considered suspect or if they have any new ones. However, she did say she hopes this case can still be solved. Generally, with cold cases, some of our biggest challenge is time, but that can also be one of our biggest benefits. She said, like many things, technology has changed a lot over the 35 years with Cruz Rogers, said the another advantage. DNA is a huge piece in our investigations currently, so when we reanalyze a case, we go through the evidence to see if something may be beneficial for DNA or fingerprint testing that maybe it wasn't back in the day, she said. DNA has given a lot of credit in some recent solved cold cases, but Cruz Rogers said witnesses are just as important. People solve cases too, she said. One witness statement could possibly break wide open and everything can fall in together. Back in 1985, just days after the murder, Sergeant Joe Can told reporters he believed the case would be solved relatively soon. While much has changed, he believed it has not. Just because it's 35 years later to us, there is no difference in the investigation, said Cruz Rogers. If you have any information about the case, you have to contact the Colorado Springs Police Department. Currently, there are 93 unsolved homicides in Colorado Springs. So that is the case of the beautiful young mom that was just trying to find love. And I think it hits hard when you involve kids, because you have to be one of the coldest person. I mean, you have to be cold. You have to not even have a soul. Like, if I look in your eyes and I see black and I don't see nothing, like nothing in you, you have kids, you're taking the lives of kids. Like, that to me does not, it break every time I talk about any cases, breaks me. But especially when it has to do with kids, like in those cases, it's hard. And there is times that if y'all don't see me for like a few days, and I talked about a kid, any kids cases, is because I need time to process what I just learned and what I just read. I have a daughter, and if anything ever, God forbids, anything happens to my daughter, I would do anything to find the person. And I just hope that this case gets solved, and like the detective said, it's gonna probably get solved, because look at, we are 35 years later, and we are. I always like to give my opinion and kind of come up with some, figure out who did it. But in this case, I can't even say if it was an ex-husband, because there was not a lot of evidence. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Have a great day. Yeah, see you next week.